Everyone in town knew one thing. Nobody dared to mess with Ion, the quiet single dad whose past was wrapped in rumors and whose strength made even the boldest hesitate. But no one expected the truth to come out the day he silently walked away after saving the life of a billionaire who owed him everything. And when that billionaire came searching, desperate to repay a debt deeper than money, the truth behind Ion's scars, sacrifices, and silence shocked everyone. Before we begin, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more heart-touching stories. Ion had always lived on the edges of the small mountain town of Norabad, a place where gossip traveled faster than the river currents below. To most people, he was a mystery wrapped in quiet strength, a single dad in his early 30s raising his 6-year-old daughter, Mina, with nothing but pure devotion. Every morning, he walked her to school, his calloused hand holding her tiny fingers. He didn't talk much, didn't mingle, didn't explain why he avoided crowds or why he always scanned his surroundings like a man expecting danger. But he worked hard, doing repairs, driving deliveries, and helping anyone who knocked on his door. Yet whenever people tried to get close, he gently stepped back. Some said he was hiding from his past. Others said he had once been a soldier. A few whispered he had enemies. But one thing no one denied, Ion had the kind of aura people didn't dare challenge. It wasn't fear, it was respect mixed with uncertainty. Then came the night everything changed. A storm raged through the town like an angry beast, lightning tearing the sky apart. Ion, headed home after fixing a generator at the old inn, saw the impossible. A luxury vehicle smashed against the guardrail at the cliffside turn known as the Dead Man's Bend. Flames licked the hood as the rain pounded mercilessly. Without hesitation, Ion rushed forward. The driver's door was jammed. Inside, a man in his 40s, bleeding, dazed, trapped, pounded weakly against the glass. "Help, please." Ion grabbed a rock, shattered the window, and pulled the man out moments before the car exploded behind them. The stranger was unconscious, and Ion didn't wait for thanks. He carried him all the way to the old ranger cabin where he called emergency services using the outdated radio. Throughout the night, Ion stayed by the man's side, cleaning his wounds, preventing shock, and whispering calm words though he didn't know if the man heard. When dawn broke, approaching sirens echoed across the valley. And that was when Ion stood, tightened his jacket, and silently walked away, with no name given, no acknowledgement, no expectation. "Baba, where were you?" Mina asked when he arrived home soaked and tired. "Just helping someone, sweetheart," he whispered. And life continued, except for one thing. The man he saved wasn't just anyone, he was Ibrahim Zaman, one of the wealthiest and most influential businessmen in the country. And when Ibrahim woke in the hospital, he remembered one thing clearly, the face of the man who risked everything for him. And he vowed to find him. The news spread like wildfire. Billionaire Ibrahim Zaman was offering a massive reward for the unknown man who saved his life. TV channels, social media, newspapers, all were filled with the story. But the one man who remained silent was Ion. He didn't want fame, didn't want money, didn't want attention. He just wanted a simple life with his daughter. But fate had different plans. A week later, Ibrahim arrived in Norabad with a team of investigators. He wasn't looking for a hero, he was searching for the man who had looked at death and walked right through it to save him. The town buzzed with excitement, and fear, and curiosity. "He won't find me," Ion said to himself, repairing an old fence at the school. But destiny works in odd ways. One afternoon, Mina wandered too far while chasing a butterfly and slipped near the riverbank. Before she even cried out, Ibrahim, who had been walking nearby with his security team, grabbed her small hand and pulled her to safety. When Ion saw Mina in the arms of strangers, his protective instinct surged. He sprinted, eyes hard, jaw clenched. The guards froze, instinctively stepping back. Ibrahim gently set Mina down, raising his hands peacefully. "I believe, I've found you," he said softly. Ion stiffened. "I don't need anything, thank you." He turned to leave, but Ibrahim wasn't a man who gave up easily. "You saved my life," he said behind him. "At least allow me to thank you." Ion paused for a moment but continued walking. His past had taught him that attention brings danger, and Mina was his only reason to stay invisible. But life had already changed. The next day, the town mayor summoned Ion, insisting he meet Ibrahim privately. "He's not here for publicity," the mayor said. "He genuinely wants to repay you." Against his instincts, Ion went. When he entered the hotel suite, Ibrahim stood up from his wheelchair, leaning on a cane. I owe you more than I can ever repay, Ibrahim said. But I want to offer something, not as a reward, but as a thank you from one father to another. That sentence froze Ion. How do you know? Ibrahim glanced at a photo on the table, Ion and Mina smiling. Because I asked people who know you. And they all say the same thing. You're a good father doing everything alone. Ion sighed deeply. Please, just forget me. But Ibrahim's eyes softened. Your silence tells me you've suffered too much already. Ion said nothing. But for the first time, he felt seen, not judged, not feared, not questioned, just understood. And that terrified him more than anything. Ibrahim was persistent, not in a pushy way, but with genuine concern. He spent days trying to understand why Ion was so guarded. Why he avoided help. Why he kept distance from everyone. Eventually, Ion agreed to talk. One quiet evening, they sat on the hill overlooking Norabad as Mina played nearby. I wasn't always like this, Ion said slowly. I used to have a family, parents, siblings, stability. Ibrahim listened without interrupting. But years ago, I witnessed something I shouldn't have. A criminal gang came after me. I wasn't their target. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. His voice trembled slightly. They threatened my family. I had to disappear. Change my name. Start over. Mina's mother, she couldn't handle the fear. She left. Ibrahim's eyes filled with empathy. You've been protecting your daughter ever since. Yes, Ion whispered. I kept us far from cities, from attention. Norabad is quiet, safe. Then he looked at Ibrahim. But if people know I saved you, the gang might track me down again. Ibrahim's brows tightened. Then let me protect you. Ion shook his head. I don't trust anyone with Mina's safety. No offense. But Ibrahim wasn't deterred. Over the following days, he spoke to government officials, used his influence to retrieve old records, and discovered something shocking. The gang Ion feared had been arrested years ago in a major crackdown. They were no longer a threat. When Ibrahim showed him the official documents, Ion stared as if he didn't believe his own eyes. You're free, Ibrahim said gently. You don't have to hide anymore. Ion felt his whole world tilt. For years he had lived in the shadows, afraid of dangers that no longer existed. Tears welled in his eyes, silent, unspoken tears of relief. That day, Ion finally allowed himself to breathe. Over time, Ibrahim became a close friend, almost like family. He helped Ion secure a stable job, offered support for Mina's education, and encouraged him to reconnect with the world he had abandoned long ago. But Ion never accepted money he didn't earn. You've done enough, he would say. What you gave me is something I never thought I'd have again, freedom. The town eventually learned the truth. And suddenly, the quiet single dad they once viewed with mystery became a symbol of courage, resilience, and unconditional love. Mina would often run into Ibrahim's arms, calling him Uncle Ibrahim, and he would laugh with a warmth he had forgotten he possessed. Ion rebuilt his life, not with wealth or fame, but with hope, dignity, and the family he never expected to find. And every time he looked at Mina, he knew he had made the right choices, survived the darkest storms, and finally stepped into the light he had always deserved. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories.